British climber and his guide missing after icefall on Everest. Tragedy has struck on the world's highest peak, Mount Everest. A British climber and his experienced guide have gone missing following a massive icefall. The towering ice wall collapsed, sending tons of ice and snow crashing down. Join us as we delve into the chilling details of their disappearance, the search efforts, and the dangers that climbers face on this treacherous mountain. Daniel Paul Patterson, 40, and Pastenji Sherpa, 23, have not been heard from since they reached the summit at about 4:40 a.m. local time on Tuesday, Nepalese officials said. A cornice broke off and washed down, carrying a few climbers, including Daniel and his guide, towards the Tibet side. A member of a team at Everest Base Camp told the Times. The collapse is reported to have happened at Hillary Step, a nearly vertical rock face just beneath the summit of the world's highest peak. An expedition has been launched to find the men, but hopes are fading that anyone could survive more than a day in an area known as the Death Zone due to its high altitude. Mr. Patterson was climbing with his partner Beck Woodhead. She said yesterday that she had not heard from him. Mr. Patterson's partner, Beck Woodhead, said yesterday that she had not heard from her partner and was waiting for news with their families. The fitness enthusiast had dedicated his climb to a late friend from Wakefield Crossfield Club, which he co-owns, and recently announced that members had raised £10,000 for her family. A keen climber, he had trained in the Himalayas last year and said he was emotional when he saw the Everest summit, telling followers, "My dream will always be to conquer this." A Sherpa with Mr. Patterson's group said earlier today that the expedition had successfully reached the summit before sharing the news that the two men went missing during the climb. Eyewitnesses reported the incident took place between Summit Ridge and South Summit, and some climbers were swept away in Kangshung Face. He said, "Our dedicated search and rescue teams are deployed on the ground. They are working tirelessly to locate our missing climbers. Our thoughts and prayers are with their families during this challenging time." The missing men were part of a 15-strong team with 8 K expeditions, led by Bolivian climber David Hugo Ayaviri Quispe. Mr. Patterson previously said it had always been his dream to conquer the Everest summit. Mr. Patterson posted 2 weeks ago to say he was waiting impatiently for a summit window. Officials reportedly said that a window of calm weather over the past few days has seen an influx of climbers heading to the summit, but that this would close by the end of the week. It comes after Mongolian climbers Usuk Yargul Sedendamba, 53, and Purevsurin Lokagvahav, 31, went missing on Everest on May 13th. The pair, who had not relied on Sherpa guides, were found dead a week later at 2 different locations after summiting the peak. Mr. Patterson, who received the news along with the rest of his team as they prepared for their own expedition, shared a post to his story with the caption, "Very sad news." The British climber's last post to his Instagram followers was 6 days ago when he reshared a friend's good luck post, which said he would be back down in 6 days-ish. The fitness enthusiast had dedicated his climb to a late friend from Wakefield Crossfield Club and recently announced the group had raised £10,000 for her family. A Foreign Office spokesperson said this afternoon, "We are supporting the family of a British man who is reported as missing in Nepal and are in touch with local authorities." Nepal is home to 8 of the world's 14 peaks, over 8,000 meters, 26,246 feet, and welcomes hundreds of adventurers each spring climbing season. Everest is only climbable in the short windows of clear weather when the winds are calm. This has led to long queues forming at challenging sections, leaving climbers waiting in the freezing cold and burning through their valuable oxygen supplies. As climbers can only summit in small weather windows, queues can form on the mountain, which substantially increases the risk of death. The statement continued. There have also been concerns that some companies are bringing inexperienced climbers up into the death zone, above 8,000 m, creating serious risks for them and others. Trackers have recently been introduced, which authorities hoped would make finding and rescuing injured climbers easier. Ahead of the season, specialized icefall doctors set the climbing route of ropes and ladders, building a route across plunging crevasses and constantly shifting ice, including the treacherous Khumbu icefall. Tragically, in April 2023, 3 Nepali climbers perished when a block of glacial ice fell and swept them into a crevasse as they were crossing the icefall on a supply mission. Ms. Woodhead has set up a fundraiser for a search and rescue operation for her partner, which can be found here. My name is Bex Woodhead, and I am the proud partner of Dan Pat Patterson. Dan's family and I urgently need your help. On May 21st, at 4:40 a.m., Daniel Patterson successfully reached the summit of Mount Everest, a monumental achievement and a testament to his strength and determination. Tragically, during his descent, Daniel and his Sherpa Mr. Pastenji went missing, and there has been no contact or sighting of them since. Dan is not just an adventurer. He is a beloved son, brother, partner, friend, and a proud joint owner of Wakefield CrossFit. He is known for his adventurous spirit, his kindness, and his unwavering dedication to helping others. Now it is our turn to help him. With his passion for Leeds United, we ask that in light of the upcoming playoff final, you please help us to find him. Time is of the essence in a situation like this, and we are mobilizing every resource we can to locate Dan and Mr. Pastenji. We are hoping to launch a search mission with the assistance of a rescue team specializing in search operations in extreme environments. Conducting a search and rescue operation on Everest is an incredibly complex and costly endeavor. We are not experts in this, and there is no guarantee of success. We need to cover expenses such as helicopter flights and aerial searches, specialized search teams and equipment, communication and coordination efforts, logistical support, and supplies. We have been advised by Global Rescue, a world-renowned organization specializing in search and rescue operations in extreme environments, that similar operations cost in the region of £150,000. We are seeking fundraising to ensure we can carry out a comprehensive and effective search operation. Every donation, no matter the size, brings us one step closer to finding Dan. Your support will directly impact our ability to locate him and bring him back home to those who love him. We are immensely grateful for any support you can provide during this critical time. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. With deepest gratitude, Bex Ogs. June 4th, he updated on Twitter. He shared, "We have been blown away by the generosity of everyone who has donated to our GoFundMe fundraiser. It is clear that Daniel touched many lives and had such a positive impact on so many people. This gives us some comfort at this difficult time. Sadly, we are having to accept that our hope of recovering Dan and his Sherpa and returning Dan home is not possible at this time." After speaking with numerous industry and expedition professionals over the last week, we are aware that any attempt to recover Dan is fraught with logistical and political challenges. Due to the location in which Dan and his Sherpa fell, the only viable option is an aerial search on the Tibetan side. Flying from Nepal into Tibet is politically very difficult, and Chinese support for this would need to be obtained. We now understand that this would be next to impossible to organize in the short window that remains. Added to that is the fact that any recovery operation would be extremely dangerous, and we do not wish to put anyone else at risk. We know that Dan would not want this. With all of this in mind, we have made the decision to refund all donations to our GoFundMe fundraiser. Everyone who donated will receive a separate email from GoFundMe confirming that they will receive their full contribution back in 7 business days. As the sun sets on Everest, a somber cloud hangs over the mountain. We pray for the safe return of the missing British climber and his guide, lost to the unforgiving ice. Their absence leaves a void in our hearts and a reminder of the unpredictable challenges of nature.